Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs? My name's Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always.
What's going on?
I feel like I suck at fantasy football this year. I haven't even had any real bad takes, but all my teams are just mid.
You got a bunch of mid teams?
I got a bunch of mid teams.
Yeah, I feel like this is the exact same thing I said last year, but I'm doing really good, except our home league.
I was hoping
any league that I'm trying to do good in, I'm doing good in. I'm actually in 3 redraft leagues, including our home league.
Okay.
The other 2, I think I'm 5-1. And then I have this league. I just can't figure it out, dude. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out.
I just spilled this freaking tea all over my shirt. And it's white. You can see it.
Good job, dude. Was it
hot
tea?
On the pod. No, it was cold. But it's all over my shirt right now, so good.
Excuse me, by the way. I am kind of sick, per usual.
Okay,
what else is new?
I was sick last week, so here's that. But anyway, welcome into the pod. We are going to recap week 6 because it is now in the books with the exception of the Monday Night Football game, which we have not seen yet. So keep an eye on that. I got to get, let's see, I got Tony Pollard, and I'm playing Keenan Allen, and I'm down by 8. So, it's a coming back to do tonight. If I win, I'm 4-2. If I lose, I'm most likely 3-3.
That's not great.
Yeah, that's not wonderful at all. I'd love to be 4-2, and I should have lost last week with DJ Moore's 49 points, but I'm getting shafted. So anyway, we'll do booms and busts, and then we'll do some waiver wire stuff, and then we'll end the show. We do have Thursday night preview: Jacksonville Jaguars versus Saints.
The Saints. Yep.
We got that coming up on the Wednesday show, so be sure to check that out. Before we jump into the show, check our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you're listening through your audio devices, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, any of those platforms, please leave a review on the pod and share it with your friends. If you're watching YouTube, be sure to subscribe, click that bell for notifications, like, and comment down below the questions you have for us. It helps the pod. We don't ask for your money. We ask for your likes and comments. I don't understand, by the way. You people need to stop getting enraged.
Whoa. What does that mean?
Some dude commented on our video last week and said he disagreed with something we said about Dak Prescott.
Okay.
And he said, I disagree about Dak. I don't listen to your show. What does that have to do with anything? Does that make you feel good? It's like people giving Yelp reviews. I was talking to my wife about this. Yelp reviews, right? Yeah, we look up restaurants. And we're trying to find, around us, we haven't really found a good pizza restaurant. A place. We have a lot of really good wood fire pizza places, but just a good generic pizza joint where all they make is pizzas and subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking for. I'm looking for a solid, I can call it up, it'll come to my house kind of pizza place.
Classic pizza spot.
Yeah, and I just haven't been able to find it. All of them get. So I found one, and I was reading the reviews, and I'm like, when you're looking at restaurant reviews, you have to find out which people are complaining about the service and which people are complaining about the food. And if all of them are just complaining about the service, then that most likely means the food is fine. But if they're complaining about the food, then it's just a big X. You got to stay away. So the amount of people that just complain about stupid stuff. The one pizza place, the guy said he walked in and there was a long line, and that was his 1-star review.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, what? Do you have nothing better to do?
Shouldn't that mean it's probably a good thing because there's a lot of people there, which means it's a popular...
I guess. I don't know, but
that's kind of crazy.
So I just don't understand what people, they go online and they leave these comments, and it's like, what? Do you have no, I take time on my Monday for this. I don't care about the haters, but, do you disagree with my take? That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of odd.
Yeah. Anyway. So, long monologue short. Let's get to the booms and busts. Talk about some guys that exploded and didn't. So, for quarterbacks, this is a suck bag quarterback week. Not a lot of huge performances. Maybe that changes tonight. We got Justin Herbert. We got Dak Prescott. No?
Yeah, Dak Prescott.
So maybe we get a good performance out of those guys. But so far, we have not great performances.
This might be the worst quarterback week I think I've seen.
I sorted the numbers and I was like, freaking what?
Yeah.
It means like I started Stroud over Geno, which ended up working out because Geno had 12 and Stroud had 17. So I don't know what it looked like in a non-5-point touchdown league.
15, which I mean,
yeah,
this week was still like QB 12 or something like that.
Yeah, but I didn't get smoked at quarterback, so that's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Jalen Hurts had 22.9, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He had a bad real-life game. The Eagles lost to the Jets. That's demoralizing.
Isn't that crazy that Hurts had like an awful game in real life, but he was still the number 1 fantasy quarterback because he had 47 yards rushing and a touchdown?
Yeah, dude. I was thinking like, oh, he sucks so bad. Maybe I can reach out to the guy that has him and
Nope.
No, that's not going to happen. You don't think so? You don't think I can get him in a trade?
Probably not.
Oh, all right. Anyway, number 2.
Maybe you could. I mean, if you're willing to give up half your team.
That's true. Number 2, Tua Tagovailoa. He had 22.5 fantasy points. The Miami Dolphins continue to roll offensively every other week. Number 3, Jared Goff, 22.4. King Goff. He's
top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He's cooking.
It's not gonna last.
It's really well, it might. What are they in the last like?
He might finish top. He finished 10th last year. I could see that happening.
What are they in the last 14 games? 12 and 2.
I still don't think he's gonna be top 5. Because even if he keeps up his success, he's not throwing for like 350 yards and multiple touchdowns. Like they might win a couple games where they get 2 rushing touchdowns and Goff doesn't do anything.
But it's just a consistent like around 15 to 20 points a week. You know what I mean? He's at 14, 23, 19, 12, 27, and 22. So, I mean, some of those like 14, 12 are bust weeks, but he's been just consistently hovering right around 20, which is what you want. So, hey, it is a decent start.
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, some busts at quarterback. Justin Fields snapped his thumb in half, but he wasn't going anywhere anyway.
No.
Yeah,
he played the first half and it wasn't looking good.
No, he had 5.9 fantasy points. Now, I've seen him do that before where he goes out in the first half and he's poop nuggets and then he goes off.
Yeah, and just breaks a 50-yard touchdown run.
Something stupid. So it could have changed, but he wasn't panicked. Now, they did say he is doubtful for this week. The coach said that this morning, so I was waiting to see. It's so funny. There's a person in our league, in our home league, that I talked to Rick about this, very hard to trade with this guy because if it's Monday or Tuesday and he loses, he overreacts. So you can make him pull a trade on Monday and Tuesday. But if you get to Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, if you're listening to this, Brandon, this is how I know when to make trades with you. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you get past Wednesday, any deal, he's gonna mull a deal over, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, I gotta wait till Sunday to see it." You gotta
make the deal before Wednesday.
He was very interested in a deal that I had for Justin Fields. And I could tell because he didn't decline it in Sleeper. I texted him. He's like, yeah, son, I've been thinking about it. And I'm like, all right. And then he didn't give me the runaround about, like, I got to see him play, but I want to see him play this Sunday first. So then he sucked. Obviously, I take just a tip for fantasy football. If you have trade offers on the table going into the 1 o'clock games, take them out. Take them down before the game starts on Sunday so you don't get fricked on a injury trade or something like that. Because I will never veto those trades. You made that mistake. So anyway.
Yeah, if you ever play in a league with Morgan.
So I took him off. Yep, 1,000%. I took the trade away just, after the games, and then he sucked. So now I'm like, do I go back and try to make the trade again?
Do you even want to do that?
I don't know, because he's going to be out next week.
Yep.
And
then the tank is on.
Anyway, so it's number 2. Kirk Cousins had 8.7. He was just playing bad this game. Rick, did you watch the Vikings game?
I unfortunately did for a decent amount.
Okay, was it as bad as it looks here?
Yeah, I mean he He had 21 completions on 181 passing yards.
Okay.
So what is that, like 7 yards per completion?
Yeah, that's something.
And you were right. They were trying to run the ball more, and they also were doing a lot of dump offs. Like Madison had 7 targets this week.
Yeah.
Which, side note, Alexander Madison, your boy, 2.4 yards per carry this week on 18 carries.
Yeah, listen, it's just volume, man.
But he still had 11 fantasy points because he had
play, dude.
7 targets.
That's because the only thing that they need to worry about now is the the running game.
Yeah, I mean, you said that. I agreed with you when you said that their offense would be a lot worse without Jefferson.
It's Justin Jefferson.
Because it's Justin Jefferson. I thought it would look okay versus the Bears.
It did not.
But it did not. So that just makes me even more worried for the 49ers coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all downhill. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's not good. All right, so then we had Brock Purdy, who had 8.7 as well. If you started the Brock Star, there is a follower. There's a cult.
MVP Brock Purdy.
There's a Brock Purdy cult.
He's the next Tom Brady.
And it took an L this week.
Yeah. So, it is interesting, though, and this just shows how good the 49ers are, that he could have a game as bad as he did, and the offense could pretty much suck as much as they did, and they still were a field goal away at the end of the game. If they make the field goal at the end, because I don't know, did you watch that game or the end of it?
I wasn't able to watch the end of it because it was going while the Pats game was going.
So Brock Purdy at the end did drive him down the field, and they got to like the 25-yard line.
They missed the field goal,
and then they missed the field goal.
Yep. Nice.
So, as bad as it was, they still almost won.
But I don't understand the Brock Purdy cult, not going to lie. But the people are starting him in fantasy football, and he's been decent fantasy football-wise. I want to see what his...
well, he's still a good, stream.
Yeah, Purdy...
He's QB9 right now.
QB9 right now, yep. 107 fantasy points. So he was... Before this week, he actually had 16, 14, 20, 23, and 26. I want to just see what his numbers were through 5 weeks. Through 5 weeks, Brock Purdy was QB7. So... he was actually doing okay, and I know there were some teams in different leagues that I'm in that were starting Purdy, so Purdy is on this list because people probably started him. So bust.
Yep.
All right. Booms at the running back position. We got Raheem Mostert, 34.2. I mean, it don't matter. Don't matter who's running the football for the freaking Dolphins. They're just going to score 30.
I saw A-Chain was out, Jeff Wilson was out, and the Panthers ranked 31st in the league against the run. Mm-hmm. So, in all of my daily lineups, I had Raheem Mostert in every single one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is why I have Jeff Wilson on my IR right now, because inevitably Devin A-Chain and Mostert will not be in a game.
True.
And Wilson will take over and run for 1,000 yards again. I don't know. But, yeah, Dolphins continue to roll. Travis Etienne continuing to make the Tanks Bigsby people look stoop. 23.3 fantasy points. He's been really good. He's scoring a lot of touchdowns. That's why
it's funny because ever since I texted you that he was very unimpressive so far this year, literally since the moment I sent that text, he put up 36 and then 23.
Yeah, you need to chill.
No, I think he was. I think I did him a favor.
You heard him? Did he heard you? He was like,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, and then Kyron Williams with 21. Is that what it is? 21.8.
Yeah, dude.
He had a really good game. Problem with Kyron, he is expected to be out week 7 because he sustained some kind of ankle injury at the end of the game. It's not expected to be a long-term concern, but they said he's going to miss 1 week. Ronnie Rivers, their backup, is also cooked, so it might be Zach Evans' time.
Oh, the rookie.
Yeah,
there you go.
So, which, to be honest with you, you miss time and Zach Evans comes in and he looks anywhere decent. Kyron Williams could be dead.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
That's a possibility. So, I'd consider making Zach a waiver wire ad, but we'll talk about that in a second. And then we have busts. David Montgomery at 4.3. Dude, I ranked him so high this week. I quit.
He got hurt.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's out. He's already ruled out for next week, so the Gibbs hype lives on.
Would you like to trade me Jameer?
No.
Whatever, bro.
Well, maybe actually.
Jameer Gibbs for Alexander Madison. Suck for suck. Easy trade.
I think that's a fair deal, but I don't like Madison, so I gotta like the player I get back.
I can't stand you. And then we had James Cook, 7.1 fantasy points. He's been starting as a flex or an RB2 in a lot of leagues, so he busted out this week. Javonte Williams came back. He got 7.2, so not great there. Wide receiver booms. We had Amon-Ra St. Brown with 30.4. Now, I noticed something funky going on, and I wish I could see my rankings for week 6. Because I don't remember where he was, but I remember he was ranked like 30-something or 20-something.
Because he was questionable, I think,
by the consensus, and I moved his butt right up to like 8.
Yeah, that was smart.
I was like, ain't no way, home dog. And he balled out. So, Amon-Ra St. Brown, good at football. Guess who is kind of come out of nowhere and been like a freaking superstar? And it looks like he has a second life. We signed Juju. We could have signed Adam Thielen, New England Patriots. But
you would hate Thielen too because he also creates zero separation. Anytime anyone plays zone, though, he gets open. And here's the thing.
That's what a slot receiver does, home dog.
Yeah, I know. It's true. But, our strategy of like always taking like younger guys at the end of the draft.
Yep.
Thielen was one of those guys that I was okay with because his opportunity was just it was glowing.
He's
wide receiver. There's nobody else in that wide receiver room.
Wide receiver 3 right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll continue, to be completely honest with you. I think at some point it's going to come down to earth, but very interesting. 20 since week 2, 20, 31, 15, 27, 28. He's like Cooper Kupp right now.
Yeah.
I didn't even see this bust, but Puka Nacua had 6 this week.
Ooh, that's not good for the Puka people.
Nope, not at all. And then Tyreek Hill, just a normal day at the office, 28.
It really is.
28 fantasy points. He's gonna be wide receiver 1.
Cooper Kupp also put up 28 this week, so he's back.
Yeah, Kupp is back. All right, bust this week. We had Debo with 1.1. I believe he got hurt, so.
Believe he did as well. Yeah.
T. Higgins had 4.
He got hurt in the first quarter. That sucks.
Yeah.
You starting him.
T. Higgins sucks. 4 fantasy points.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because he's injured or the Bengals offense sucks, but he has not been good. I do think he's due though for like a 35-point game.
You know who looks good though?
Who?
Joe's looking fresh.
He looked okay.
He looks.
He definitely looked better.
No, I'm not. I'm not even talking about the performance that he put up because last week he looked significantly better. But I just mean like he's escaping sacks. He's running around like his leg looks.
Yeah, he's moving.
He's moving better
in the pocket.
Yeah. So I think the Bengals will be fine. They started 1-3 and now they're what 3-3.
Yeah, but they got 49ers and Bills next 2 weeks.
Watch them clean up.
Maybe.
And then Jerry Jeudy had 4.4. Just hoping for a trade at this point.
Do you think he's dead if he's on the Broncos? As long as he's on the Broncos,
I don't think he's completely dead because I think the Broncos' offense will get slightly better as the season goes along. And I don't think that he's going to be a 4. Like everything on Thursday Night Football and Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football gets like freaking like. Everything's in like you're watching the game in a magnifying glass. So everything gets magnified, amplified. Thank you. And like that whole thing pregame where he was trash talking like Steve Smith, whatever, and like just all this nonsense going on. And then he gets 4 points. It was just like a bunch. Like he's had some okay games this year, and he's gotten some decent target share. But like this was just like. All bad things going together at once to the point where everyone's like, oh, Jerry Jeudy just sucks. And it's like, okay, let's not go that far. Dude had a bad Thursday Night Football game. Like, let's chill. Right?
I agree. I will say, though, I'm definitely more down on him than I have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not doing anything fantasy football-wise to make you believe. But,
even like on the field, like, did you see some of that game?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Did you? So there was a play where he got Russell Wilson was getting pressure. And he just chucked it up in the air to Jeudy. And it was in the end zone, I think. It was incomplete.
That was a hard play, though. That wasn't going to be.
It was a hard play, but like some receivers, like will go up and just grab it. Like Jeudy doesn't have that. Like you need to put the ball on him. Mm-hmm. He's not going to win a jump ball. He's not going to like. Yeah. Which I get. It's not really his type of receiver either, but still like.
Yeah, he's just an elite. He's an elite route runner that can get open. He's not the type of guy that does the 50.
He's not going to make crazy catches.
Yeah. I mean, he might at times, but like just not in that way. That's like T. Higgins comes down with that, but not Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, but like you like guys that like this is football terminology, but like the strong hands, like guys that will go and they will catch the ball with their hands.
Don't sound too much like a scout there, bud.
Yeah, well,
he's got strong hands. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy's hands are not what he's known for.
No, that's true.
But yeah, so the hope for me as a Jerry Jeudy owner is that he gets traded to the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's true. That's the Chiefs. Best case scenario.
The Chiefs is not going to happen because they're in the same division as Denver. So I'm trying to think of another option. Maybe. Oh no, I don't want that to happen. But maybe Buffalo.
The rumor was the Colts called about Jerry Jeudy, which is
get out of here, Colts.
Just so random.
The Browns also have liked him a lot, so I don't know what that would mean for his fantasy value, but yeah. So I would my hope is that he goes somewhere good, somewhere that he can get the ball thrown to him. All right, tight end booms and busts. We got Travis Kelce 21.4, so he was good.
The usual.
Dalton Schultz. I was actually thinking about this because he had a really good matchup this week, and I was like, I was trying to find a tight end for my week, and I went with Zach Ertz on the waiver wire, but I had the opportunity to possibly trade for Dalton Schultz. Stack him with my Stroud skis.
Yeah.
And he got 16 points this week and had a good week. So trade would have been smart, but I didn't do it, and I stuck with Zach and got 4. So frick me. I would have won if I made that trade. So there's that. Pain and suffering.
That is pain.
And then Kyle Pitts made me look like a dope with my sit this week. 15 last week, 14 this week. Kyle Pitts, is he here? Is he here? I watched him and I was like, oh boy, it's happening.
I still don't think it is necessarily because
don't crush
it's never been
a dynasty league.
To me at least, it has never been about Kyle Pitts. It's about Desmond Ridder in the situation.
That's fair, but
which I still don't necessarily think has improved because he's had 2 good weeks.
How many years you got to suck before it just goes backwards?
Because his snap percentage is still only like 55%.
Yeah, sure.
It's not good.
Okay. George Kittle.
The George Kittle experience continues.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a struggle bus.
Yeah,
George Kittle, I'm see. My thing is, I had T.J. Hawkinson last year, so to me, having the crap games is not it's part of the territory of having a tight end like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is tough. This is you really gotta clench your teeth and get through it. You know what I mean?
I think this week though, he probably gets 20 again.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's definitely what's going to happen.
Especially if Deebo's not playing.
We'll be talking about next week, George Kittle being on the booms list.
Yeah.
We had Logan Thomas 1.2. I know a lot of people were talking about starting him this week because he's been good. Not good this week.
Yeah, I think I had the worst starts and sits I've ever had this week.
And then you also had Hunter Henry as a start, correct?
I did, yeah.
I told you that was a bad idea. How do you watch the Patriots offense the last 2 weeks and be like, I want Hunter Henry?
I thought it would look a little better, and it did look a little better. It just everything went to Kendrick Bourne.
You know what the problem is that maybe this will change as weeks go along, but every team is seeing the Patriots and they're running zone. I mean, they're running man, and when they run zone, Hunter Henry just cooks it. Because Mac loves to throw it in the seam, and that's where Hunter Henry is legit always open.
Right.
And but the problem is they have zero downfield weapons and zero ability to throw it down the field. So literally all they have to do is play man and stop the underneath stuff. And so you have this situation where Hunter Henry just can't really get open because there's no, you watch the Chiefs, right? Everyone's worried about Mahomes chucking it 60 yards down the field and scoring a touchdown. So they play zone a lot. A lot of teams play zone. And this is why Travis Kelce, everyone's like, why are they not putting a guy on Travis Kelce? Oh, it's so frustrating. It's they're playing zone coverage. It's really simple. All he's got to do is run a freaking curl route or a hook route and just sit. wide open.
Yep.
And then he turns around and runs over 3 guys. So that's, that's how it works. But Pats don't get that, so Hunter Henry gets 1.7.
Exactly.
All right. Those are your booms and busts. Anything else? Any other notes you have for the week?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some waiver wire guys then. Let's jump into that. It's going to be an interesting one today.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the quarterback position. A lot of different crap going on. There was rumors fluttering around, which I don't want nothing to do with Malik Willis, but I did want to start off with this because I think some fantasy people are going to be like, "Look at Malik Willis, he runs it." I don't know if Ryan Tannehill is going to be in or out this upcoming week, but there was a clip of Mike Vrabel post game, and they asked him like, "Oh, would you go with Malik Willis over Ryan Tannehill? If Tannehill's ready to go, you guys are losing games. Like, would you make the switch?" And he was like, "I'm interested in anything that'll make the football team better." That kind of thing. So very vague.
Interesting.
Not that Willis would make the football team better, but he did not say Ryan Tannehill is my.
You want to know his stats on the year, real quick?
Really bad. Tannehill or Malik Willis?
Tannehill.
Okay.
2 touchdown passes.
Okay. Yeah. Mac has
6 interceptions.
Mac has less than that.
Yep. He does have 1,100 yards.
Okay.
And his completion percentage is okay. But
that's
two touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That's really bad. What are they waiting on for Levis? Like, what did Levis do?
He's inactive.
I know he is. What did he do?
By the way, Tannehill also has a 62% completion percentage, which isn't great. Apparently, in training camp, Malik Willis beat him for the backup role.
Yeah,
Malik Willis had a better camp.
Mike Vrabel's a dope. Like, freaking you have a freaking quarterback you drafted in what round? First, second?
It was second round, but still.
Like, let's put Levis in the game here, Bubba.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't give Levis a shot. I mean, they also, I think, still have vague hope in Malik Willis. But if I were them, I would trade Tannehill, and then rest of the season, I would just.
Yeah, Willis he's a.
I'd give Willis if you want to give Willis a shot, you think he was better in training camp, whatever. Give him the first crack, and then if he sucks, you go to Levis.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as waiver wire ads, I don't want to add Willis. Howell's probably good.
Yeah, my boy.
I can't stand that. I had to eat that. Where is he?
You know what? To be fair, though,
he's not even that great. He's just kind of he's good enough.
I liked him because I thought he would rush more, but he's not really even rushing. He's doing it passing.
Yeah,
which is kind of.
He had one bust game of 4, but outside of the 4-point game in week 3, he's had 16, 21, 19, 26, and 18. So he's actually been putting together some decent performances for fantasy football. So that's startable. Some of those numbers are really startable. You know what I mean? Who's he playing this week?
The Giants. That could be tough.
That's a tough one. I don't know if I want to. I'd pick him up because he is having if you're in need of a quarterback, he is having a good season. So it's pick him up, see where it goes. I wouldn't necessarily start him this week against.
Is the Yeah, no, I agree. Is the Falcons considered a good matchup?
For who?
Well, do you know before I answered that question,
can
you answer mine?
Yeah, I'd say the Falcons are an okay matchup. It's not great.
Baker Mayfield? We're talking about streaming here, all right?
Cleanse your butt cheeks.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
What about Josh Dobbs? Is he on a bye? No.
You want Josh Dobbs, dude?
Josh Dobbs has been better for fantasy than you think, my dog.
He had an okay week or two.
Yeah, 25, 17, 23.
All right. Last 2 weeks, 10 and 11.
Yeah, that's fine. Who did he play? Who's he playing this week? Oh, Seattle.
Seahawks.
Yeah,
I don't love that.
It's not the right matchup.
I'm not starting Josh Dobbs, dude. I'm not doing it. You can't pay me money to do it.
You can't pay Rick to start Josh Dobbs.
I won't do it.
I mean, Baker's not bad. I don't think Dobbs is bad against Seattle. Seattle's not wonderful. I actually I'm interested in the numbers. Let me just pull up the numbers of what they do.
I gotta think. There's somebody else
fantasy points
that would probably be available.
The Seahawks give up 17 fantasy points a game, which is the 9th easiest matchup in fantasy football.
I mean, this guy might be available in your league. He's available in half the leagues.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson against the Packers.
Oh,
Maybe.
you have to add Russ. Russ has got to be an ad. He's had a much better season than right now. Russell Wilson.
He's coming off an 8-point week, so there might be some people dropping him.
Yeah, that's fair. That was against Kansas City though.
Right.
On Thursday Night Football. So, which I told you this is what happens. We're getting into the season here.
I know. Well, we're about to. I think we're about to have a classic Thursday night
Suckfest
crapshoot this week.
Yeah,
but
that's gonna be fun to break down. But yeah, no, Russ isn't bad too. I like that one.
Jordan Love, if he's available,
yeah,
against Denver is a good matchup.
we got a good week this week.
Who's that?
Desmond Ridder. And he's had put together 2 good fantasy weeks, 26-19. Might be a streaming option as well.
He also had 3 interceptions.
Who the heck is he playing?
For that, Tampa.
That's tough.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't stream him this week. Yeah, so Howell's a good stream. Baker's okay, and then Russ. I go with those guys. I didn't know.
It's a whole lot of mid.
Is there no game-changing quarterback out here for you that you can take a shot on?
No, I would say if he's available, my top choice would be Jordan Love.
I agree with that. I don't think he's available in that many leagues, though.
He probably not. He might be.
Because he was, before the bye week, he was very high.
Yeah, but he's coming off, I mean, what 2 bad weeks in a row now, I think?
No, he had a bye week, and then he had 8 points the week before. Before that was 23, 20, 25, 19. Was that on Thursday Night Football, that freaking game?
Yes, it was.
Oh, my God, Thursday Night Football. What do you do to people?
No, wait. Who's he playing? That might have been...
I don't know. I don't remember. It was week 5, though.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. He played... No, that was Monday Night Football.
Oh, all right. Either way, prime time, he sucked. Yeah, no, he was actually, let's see, through weeks 1 through 4, he was...
He was like a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, he was number 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he's available, freaking add him. Like yesterday, if he was in my league and he was available, my pants would be on the floor because I don't have a quarterback. So
it's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup. So yeah, those are the quarterbacks. Anybody else?
I think that's about it.
All right, let's move to the running back. Still not owned in every league, but I'm just going to throw out there really quick while we start this discussion on the running backs is Tajay Spears. Just get him on your team. Just do it now before Derrick Henry does. He had a real nice run, though, Derrick Henry. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, he's still Derrick Henry.
Oh, I saw him, and I'm like, oh, he's still got a little bit of juice in those legs.
He does. It might give out at any moment, though.
Kind of like Zeke.
I still believe that.
Zeke's got a little gas in the tank.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was watching the Pats Sunday, and we don't see players with a lot of burst. Okay, coming to town for the last 4 years. It's been a little bit, and Zeke does this thing. He's done it his whole career where he's very patient. He waits for something to open up, and so it'll look like he's just hovering behind the line of scrimmage until he finds some kind of gap. Then he shoots through it. And I remember seeing him do this in Dallas, but it's just stark to see him do it like in a Patriots uniform because I don't see people do this. But he just patiently waited on the line of scrimmage, and then he blew through a hole. And I'm like, whoa. He's not as fast as he used to be, but wow. Okay.
Yeah, wow.
He's still got some juice. Anyway, don't pick up Zeke this week.
No.
I'll tell you that much. But go get Tajay. If anything happens to Derrick Henry, this guy instantly becomes a workhorse running back for the Tennessee Titans, which I don't know if you want that, but it's better than anything, so I'd get him.
Yeah, I agree.
But I was going to mention, I know a lot of people are probably not going to talk on these podcasts that you're going to listen to today about Zach Evans. And he is probably my number one ad, and the only I'm not even saying start him this week, but this is what happens in the NFL season, especially when a team is not sure who their running back should be. The Rams have been rolling with Kyron the last couple weeks, and Ronnie Rivers he looks like crap when he's on the field, and Williams has been the best running back really at this point that they've had since Todd Gurley, because there hasn't been anybody that has really been able to put up numbers since him. So they might continue to roll with him, but he's going to be out. Ronnie Rivers is most likely going to be out. And if those two things do happen, Zach Evans is going to be the starter in this game. I'm not saying start him, but if you pick him up and he does go off in this game, there might be a real situation where they decide to give Zach Evans more runway because I do see concerns with Kyron Williams' efficiency. And so, like, he's scoring touchdowns because they're getting into the red zone and all of that good stuff. And so fantasy football, he's been fine. But some of his yards per carry totals and his yard per catch totals are not wonderful. So if Zach looks efficiently better, they might try to give him more opportunity. He might win that job. So I'm willing to take the risk on that Zach Evans situation. I don't know if I'd start him this week. Who are the Rams playing?
That's a good question. I'll have to look that up.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
They are playing the Steelers.
Okay, so yeah, that's not a horrible matchup for Zach Evans. So but I'm not in on starting him. So just keep an eye on the Rams running back room. I would add him as a possible situation. But yeah. So who are you looking at this week, Rick, for the running back position?
There's really no one. I'm gonna be honest. There's not really anyone that I like.
Okay.
I would agree with you. Actually, I think Zach Evans is probably number one. I don't really think there's anyone else out there that's really worth an ad.
Yeah.
Tajay Spears, if he's still out there, I think is fine. Good pickup. Really good handcuff. Kareem Hunt is okay. He's probably not available though in your league.
Yep.
And then that's really it.
Yeah. Gibson got a touchdown this week.
He did, but he had 4 touches.
Antonio Gibson, man. Yeah, running back position's bleak. It's always
really
bleak
is.
every year. You get like
You get to week 6.
It's because people hoard
Week
running
7.
backs. People hoard running backs in fantasy football. All right, let's move to the wide receiver position. Got some interesting guys. I don't even know how Rashee Rice is available in leagues because I think, honestly, at this point, hot take, but he's been the best receiver on that football team.
I don't even think that's a hot take. I think he's the best receiver.
Like, if he continues to develop into something, there could be, like, all it takes is one breakout game. You know what I mean? That's realistically all it takes. And you're going to get the fantasy people online. Somebody I saw this week said Tajay Spears' breakout game was going to be this Sunday. I saw that, and I'm like, that's for sure not happening. So there you go, bud. Did not happen. But if Rashee Rice does have a really big game at some point where Mahomes starts targeting him and he explodes, like, that might be enough on film for people to be like, inside the organization to be like, okay, let's get this guy the ball more. And then if that happens, you finally get your wide receiver 1 from Kansas City. So I don't know how he's available in 37.7 more than 30. Sorry, he's owned in 37.7% of leagues. I don't know how he's owned in over like 60% of leagues.
Yeah, he should be picked up 100%. I mean, just watching the games, he definitely feels like he's their best receiver.
Yep.
It's kind of not like a great compliment, but he kind of reminds me of Kendrick Bourne, where he's just he's able to, when he can get open sometimes. He's not like the best route runner, but he's good enough.
Yeah.
And when he has the ball in his hands, he's pretty good after the catch. And he's kind of like a bulldozer type. He's not really like the guy who's going to make it.
Yeah, the dog's a rookie. Just like give him time to develop,
Yeah, I'm not saying his ceiling is Kendrick Bourne, but I'm saying he has a similar play style.
So right now, he's the same as Kendrick Bourne. This is freaking This is what the Patriots have.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, I do like Rashee Rice though. I'd pick him up.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably my top receiver.
I do like Jackson Smith-Njigba this week. Only reason why is I believe one of the Seattle Seahawks. I was going to say Tennessee Titans. One of the Seattle Seahawks wide receivers is most likely going to be out this week, but I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was DK. DK got hurt in the game, I believe.
I don't see any reports on either guy.
Really?
From what I can tell. Metcalf did get hurt.
Okay.
In the game. But there's no report on if it's serious or not.
Okay.
I think he came back into the game.
If he doesn't play this week for whatever reason, Jackson Smith-Njigba is a good ad.
Yeah. I still think he's a good ad just as a stash because, like, I mean, he's not doing anything this year, it looks like, but he's a good enough player where he could just get a random, like, second half of the season breakout.
Yeah. And
then if he does that, then you stashed him and now you have him. So I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. No, I don't got an issue with that either. I'm actually kind of looking. I wanted to say something about this next guy, but Josh Downs every time he's with freaking Baker Mayfield,
Minshew.
every time he's with Gardner Minshew, he seems to have good games.
So you're saying rest of the season he's
if Gardner Minshew is playing the rest of the season, then maybe I think he's a good ad anyway. He's wide receiver 47 right now, so he should probably be rostered. He's had 13, 5, 15, and 13 in the last 4 weeks. So not spectacular, but it is something.
Yeah, not bad.
It's something that you don't have right now, right? No,
probably not.
You're looking for something on the waiver wire here. I'm looking for gems. I'm looking for guys who might turn into
no
something.
Down should be owned. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's wide receiver from weeks 3 through 6. So the last 4 weeks I just referenced, he's wide receiver 24.
The Rams game in week 4, that was Anthony Richardson, right?
I believe so.
Let me confirm that before I say anything outlandish. I just spelled his name wrong. That's great. Okay, so yeah. So Richardson played week 4. Yep. Josh Downs had 4 fantasy points or 5 fantasy points.
Yep.
Minshew played week 3, most of week 5, and week 6. In those games, Josh Downs 13 fantasy points, 15 fantasy points, 13 fantasy points. So he's actually a wide receiver 2 with Gardner Minshew out there.
There you go. So Minshew, Josh Downs definitely a good ad. What about QJ? You like QJ?
Yeah. I mean, this is recorded pre-Monday night, so I think Monday night's going to be a big test for him. See where he's at, but even if he sucks, like has a chance to be wide receiver 2 at some point this year.
Yeah.
With Mike Williams out, so he should be worth a stash at least. And then I think Kendrick Bourne should probably be rostered. I know the Patriots absolutely blow chunks, but he is their clear wide receiver 1 right now. I think he had 20 fantasy points this week.
Yeah, he caught he had I think 11
10 catches,
12 targets and 10 catches. Yeah.
Yeah, so he should be rostered. I mean,
this is what happens with the Pats though. Like next week he'll get 3 targets and that'll be it.
Yeah, maybe. That might be true, but I feel like he's established himself as the wide receiver 1.
Stash him. In our league he's owned because of the Patriots. Yeah,
and then I have this guy stashed in our home league too, but Jameson Williams. I think last week he was on a snap count. I'm interested to see what his snap count was this week. He only had like 3 targets, but he did have a 45-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, he only had a 23 snap percentage, which is really disgusting. I don't know if they're still easing him into it or if that's what it is rest of the season, then he's not going to be worth it.
Right.
But if they're still easing him into it, then he could end up being a real steal. Right. Because Dan Campbell said last week that they were going to ease him into the lineup.
Yep.
But he had a higher snap percentage last week than this week, so I don't really know.
Okay.
But yeah, he could be someone worth.
The only guy that I wanted to mention, I just don't understand. Like, there's a weird cult, so I pushed back against it. But Rashid Shaheed, he just keeps doing dumb things.
Well, he's their big play guy.
Yeah, so he had 18 points this week, 6 targets, 2 whole catches on those 6 targets, and 85 yards for a touchdown. So we can get out of here with that. But he's had 19, 10, and 18. Him. Like, yeah, of course you went up against him and you got that. And he's got 4 easy matchups coming up. So if you're into those little explosion games, maybe you can start him over the next couple.
I mean, to be fair, what I just talked up about Jameson Williams is kind of
similar to Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but
JMO has the name value though.
JMO has the name value, and he's in a better offense, and he's also a top 12 pick.
Yeah. How many games does he not do well for us to say he's a bust at this point?
Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Well, he's only played 2 games this year, and he had a decent game this week. He had 15 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Well, but if he does this, I would say if they get to the bye and he puts up 2 points and 2 points or something like that, then you're cooked.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it's really him. I think that the Lions love to draft skill players really high and then not use them.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
But nobody can bat an eye because they're great.
Yep. Well,
because they have a good offense coordinator and a good offensive line and a good run game and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, who cares if they don't use James Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs?
Sexy head coach, Dan Campbell, baby.
Gosh, he's so annoying.
Luke,
love-hate relationship with Dan Campbell.
Let's talk about this. I'm all in. Like, dude, I want this team going to the Super Bowl.
I like the Lions. I overall like Dan Campbell, but he's just like. If I was a Lions fan,
what if it's not him? What if their personnel decisions are left up to your guy there, offensive coordinator?
Ben Johnson?
Yep.
I mean, it might be. I'm not even saying that. Like, Dan Campbell literally does nothing in terms of their strategic game planning.
That's strong.
The defense, he leaves to the defense coordinator.
You don't know that.
The offense, he leaves to the offense coordinator.
You don't know
and
that.
You think Dan Campbell out here... Dude, there was a little play last year where they did a action to play.
He played in the NFL.
He didn't even know what was happening. He didn't even know that the play was going on.
When was this?
This was last year. Yeah, Ben Johnson runs that offense, dude. That is a Ben Johnson offense.
All right.
Dan Campbell might have a little sprinkle in there, but he's just to get the guys going. I think he's not a...
I don't think he's dumb, dude.
That's not saying he's dumb, but I don't think he does a lot there. I still like Dan Campbell, though. Don't get me wrong.
He did his time.
I do.
He did his time.
I think he's a little overrated.
All right. See, now you're...
Because he's everybody's,
12
it's the new shiny toy.
12-2.
But Ben Johnson, if you want to give anyone credit...
you are lubed up for Ben Johnson.
Dude, they have a top 5 offense, and he is the guy that runs the offense.
The guy who's not giving Jahmyr Gibbs the snaps, and he's all excited.
Yeah, well, that I don't like, but that's more of a... I could rant about Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams, but I won't do that. Well, we got to move on.
We got to move on. All right, tight ends. Rick and I can pick one. I'm going to give Rick the easy one. Michael Mayer had a good game last night against the New England Patriots, and he's a rookie trying to find his way in the wilderness. But he had a decent week this past week and some catches. He was top 5 at the quarterback position, 12.5 fantasy points. Hasn't really had a whole ton of opportunity, but if you're into shot plays that could potentially develop into something later in the season, Michael Mayer may be your dude. And I'd add him just as a speculation if you got roster space, and see what happens with him over the next couple weeks. Because especially if Hoya has to play, because Jimmy G hurt his hip or whatever the frig.
Yeah.
I think Michael Mayer is going to get thrown the ball a lot, but I liked Michael Mayer coming out of college, and if he starts to string wow, bro, what is wrong with my vocabulary?
Stringing a couple games together,
then there could be some situations where Mayer ends up being really good. So.
No, I like it. His snap percentage has gone up every single week outside of week 1 to week 2.
Yeah,
that went down.
Josh is like,
since week 2, it's gone up every week.
We need Michael. We need you to be Gronk in this offense.
No, that's a good one. You said you would leave the easy one to me, but I don't like anyone else on this list.
Oh, okay.
I'd probably say Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, I was gonna say Luke Musgrave is the easy one because he's ranked top 10 right now.
I guess, but he did have a lot of targets last week, and then he's got an easy matchup against Denver and pretty easy schedule going forward. So. Luke Musgrave's probably decent ad. I would also like to say, we're recording this before Monday Night Football, so things could change. I think Gerald Everett's going to have some opportunity to have some good weeks without Mike Williams going forward.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. There you go. There's your waiver wire pickups and booms and busts for the week. All that good gobbledygop. We have Thursday night preview coming up. Jaguars at Saints. We're going to break down that game, break down everything that's happening in it, and give you some fantasy advice for that. Talk to you later, guys. Bye, ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.